Welcome, Guruji, all Krishna devotees. I am delighted to welcome Guruji in both body and soul, to our temple and community center in Grimsby. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri. Your presence has enlightened all our hearts. I met you through the Devrasi who took us to Birmingham, and after this you visited our house where we took Diksha with your as our Guru. Since I had Diksha, आपकी कृपा से मेरा सब काम हो रहा है. I was searching for God, Rama, Krishna, and become moksha. But your darshan in the photo in the morning brings me the most happiness. Guruji, आपको मेरा कोटि-कोटि प्रणाम. Please guide me and through the light on the rest of my life. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Let's Hare Krishna. Please, everybody accept my Dandavat pranams. My name is Devashira, and I also would like to welcome Sri Padmanabha here in Grimsby in the UK. It is very rare that we have the opportunity to meet a genuine spiritual master in the Brahma Sampradaya. We got 4 Sampradayas which are bona fide and which are directly connected to Lord Krishna. And Sripad Maharaj is one of the members, one of the spiritual masters in the Brahma Sampradaya, which is a very ancient Sampradaya. He can connect, I'm not used to shouting from the people. He can connect us with Lord Krishna. This is a very rare occasion. It is so rare indeed that you could compare it with a wooden log in the ocean with a hole in it. And the ocean is so vast, like material life, material atmosphere is so vast. And a tortoise comes and puts its head to that hole. How rare is that? A genuine spiritual master who can bring us out of this prison house of the material world. Because why is it considered to be a prison house? Well, first of all, there is so much suffering here. Everybody is suffering. There is birth, old age, disease, and death. And everybody has to go through these paths in life. We don't know what our prehistory is before birth. Nobody has a history from where do I come from? What am I doing here? All of a sudden we're born into a family in a country, to a certain race, into a certain religion, and we have got no idea what happened. How did we suddenly appear here? So there is a verse in the scripture which says, Om Agyan Kimirandasya Yanandana Salakya Chakshu Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkest of ignorance, and my spiritual master came and He opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. And this is actually a fact. This is so rare, because when we look at our age, most of us are like between 50, 60, 70, 80 years old. How many years have we got left to become self-realized? Life is actually meant for self-realization. It is not meant to work very hard in a factory like youngs, and work very hard there and get some wages and just to maintain material life and sense gratification. Life is actually meant for self-realization. It is the only thing what life is meant for. So, but how do we find out? There's so many different religions, so many different philosophies, so many ideas and so on. But I would say that if we don't include God in our search for self-realization, then we have wasted our lives. Because the absolute truth is absolute. Absolute means all-encompassing. It means energy, and it also means person. If we only have the energy, then absolute is not complete. And if we only have the person, then it's also not complete. So absolute means personality and energy. It is not that we should focus, like so many people do in this new age. We call it the new age, to focus just on energy and impersonal energy, which has no attributes, no personality, no activity, no relationship. Most people, we all thrive on relationships. But if we go into the impersonal Brahman, for example, the energy, there is no more relationship. Everything is finished. We'll just be swimming in some light forever and ever. But if we go to Krishna, the absolute Supreme Personality of Godhead, we are engaged in eternal activity of love and devotion to the Supreme Lord. And this is what we really want, because we want to love and we want to give love. So, with this, I would like to... Thank you. So, everybody wants to be loved. Isn't it true? Everybody wants to be loved. And everybody wants to give love. But in material life, our relationships always have an end. Every relationship will be finished one day. So, but we're eternal living beings. We don't want to die. Dying actually is an unnatural condition for the eternal spirit soul. Our Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayana Maharaj, he always used to say that death is only apparent. Death is only apparent. There is no such thing as death, because we're eternal beings. As eternal beings, the experience of a constant change, death, birth, then death again, then birth again, and death again, and birth again, forever and ever and ever. This is a very deep conditioning which brings us to the point that we're suffering so much because of the karma we're building up. We're building up so much karma. And this karma ultimately will bring us to our knees, because we cannot escape it. And so what happens, at one point in its eternal existence in this material world, the spirit soul comes to the point of crying out in utter, what's the word? Despair, in utter despair. My dear God, please, please help me. I don't know what to do. I'm suffering so much. Can you please relieve me from this suffering? Or we could also be intelligent, and with our intelligence understand that this life is temporary. I'm an eternal living being, and my goal of life should be to wanting to go back home, back to Godhead, back to the original source where the original came from. This is what we should consider We should not consider that after life everything is over, that there is nothing anymore, just blackness, nirvana or something like this. We shouldn't think like this, because we're here. Where do we come from? We come from somewhere, and everybody in this material world can somehow understand that the eternity of the living entity. And we don't want to suffer. How many of us suffering? Is there anybody who doesn't suffer? Is there anybody who doesn't suffer? Like, for example, the rock songs, or the music, the lyrics in rock songs. They're all about broken relationships. My baby has gone, my baby has gone. Where's my baby? Oh, I'm suffering so. Isn't it true? It's all about relationships. This is what we're hankering for, relationships. Relationships made out of love. And that relationship is established when we begin the practice of Bhakti Yoga, because yoga means linking, to link with God. And so we want to link with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We cannot link with an energy. Like, for example, the impersonal energy which pervades everything, can we link with it? We can hardly meditate upon it. So what to speak about linking, having a relationship with it. So we are beings of love. We want to love, we want to give love. And this is only possible if we put God into our life. So Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he has got many, many thousands of names, like Allah, Christ. The word Christ, for example, comes from the word Christos or Christo, which is from Greece. And the words Christo and Christos come from the Sanskrit Krishna. And it means Krishna, who is the all-attractive personality of Godhead. So when we link with him in love and devotion, meditate upon his lotus feet, what will happen? And we chant his holy name. Then the soul begins to wake up. The layers of material consciousness become purified. And when that happens, the original nature of the soul begins to manifest. So the Hare Krishna mantra is like, imagine that you're in an attic and there's a mirror. And the mirror has been there for a very long time and it's all crusted up. And you cannot see your reflection in the mirror. So what you have to do, you have to polish the mirror. And then after a while, when the mirror is polished, we can see our reflection again, isn't it? So in the same way, the soul also has been here for maybe thousands of lifetimes. And we're all crusted over by material identification. We identify with this bag of fat and mucus and bones and what have you and stuff. And we think, well, this is what we are. We think we're Russians or Germans or English or this and that, and we're actually none of them. We are spirit souls, but we have forgotten our original relationship with God. And so once we connect ourselves via Bhakti Yoga with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then we become alive. Something will happen to us. Something will happen to our hearts. Because the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Lord himself, he reciprocates. He reciprocates with us. But we should not come to him bringing our material desires with us. Because this material life means, or what is in it for me? What can the other person do for me? So Bhakti Yoga is not like that. We go to Krishna and we ask, what can we do for Krishna? Because we are his eternal parts and parcels. And what we want to do is to serve him with love. It's not like servant in the material world. Servant in the material world, you get a kick at one point and they don't want to know you anymore. But with Krishna it's different. Krishna is very loving and he reciprocates in us. Thank you very much.
ठीक है आप बोलिए
अरे हम तो बोलेंगे
he said it that's fine no more
दो शब्द
no ठीक है आप
अरे अच्छा लगता है
Guruji, Dandavat Pranam, and all friends who have come here. Guru Gopal Maharaj has been coming to Grimsby for past 5 years. He comes to our house once or twice. He has come here. He's come all the way from Vrindavan to visit UK. He comes 3 to 4 times a year, but doesn't come to Grimsby every time. This time we asked him 2 months ago when he came, would he please visit Grimsby? He kindly agreed. So, Guruji, it's a blessing that you have come to Grimsby, and we would like you to say a few words and enlighten us with your mantras. And we would like you to come regularly. Whenever you come to UK, if you can visit and give us kirtan and bhajan and bit of talk, it will be nice. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. I'd like to offer my obeisances to Sripad Bhaktivedanta Maharaj, to all the guests, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. It is really a blessing that Sripad Maharaj has come and is in our presence today. As Devashi was saying, we don't know how fortunate we are with this regard. Not everybody has this opportunity, and you should consider yourselves very fortunate. I consider myself very fortunate to start with, and pass that on to you to share with you this good fortune. So I'd like to thank Anuradha Didi, Sham, Sundar Prabhu, all the committee members, and their hard work and endeavor to keep this center going. And it is an endeavor because in this age not many people are interested in spiritual life and not interested in performing some kind of devotion to our Radha and Krishna, and to get some knowledge about the self, the soul, the Atma, that they don't realize even if the Atma exists. You may have friends who are not even vegetarian. They think that animals, they don't have souls, they don't have feelings. And we're living in such world at times where people are like this. So the best thing we can give them is to give them this knowledge of the soul, the Atma, and its relationship with Paramatma, the Supreme Lord. And we have a wonderful opportunity to hear from self-realized persons like Sri Prabhupada Maharaj, who's been practicing his lifetime this process, and he's sharing that without any selfish motivation, without any selfish reason. He's traveling the world and sharing this message from India, which is 5,000 years old, ancient traditions of Bhakti Yoga, Sanatana Dharma, and the science of realizing the self and the soul. So I'd like to not speak too much. Please excuse me for any faults. And I'd like to Srila Maharaj to enlighten us with his knowledge and his presence. Thank you.
Gurave Gaurachandray Radhikai Tadalai Krishna Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Mahavadannaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratisi He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpati Gopesh Radhikanta Radhakanta Namostute Bhaktavanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabham Sri Devi Pranamami Hare Krishna first of all, offer my humble, respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my Gurupad Padma, Nitya Lila, Pravishtam Vishnupad, Ashtutara Satasya Srimad Bhakti Vedanta, Srila Vaman Goswami Maharaj, Nitya Lila, Pravishtam Vishnupad, Ashtutara Satasya Srimad Bhakti Vedanta, Srila Narayan Goswami Maharaj. Simultaneously offer my humble, respectful Dandavat Pranam, lotus feet of Nitya Lila, Pravishtam Vishnupad, Ashtutara Satasya Bhakti Vedanta, Swami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rakha, Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, Bhakti Goswami Maharaj, and all senior devotees and all Vishnu devotees, and presenting all of my respectful guests. Just I want to speak few words. I am very happy to come here this Sanatana Center and Temple. Two words I can speak. What is the meaning of Sanatana? Sanskrit word Sanatana. Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana, this word means that is called eternal and transient. In our Sanskrit word Sanatana, this word Sada Tanayoti Vistarayoti iti Sanatana. Tandhatu Vistararthi. According to Sanskrit, the verbal root Tan means to spread. Sada means always, incessantly. That means which is going always eternal and transient. That is called Sanatana. Sanatana Dharma. This Sanatana, this word, it can transcend to word. You may read Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, everywhere use this word, Sanatana. Mami Vamsa Jivo Loke, Jivo Bhuta Sanatana. Krishna says, hey Arjun, all the living entities, they are my part and parcel and eternal and transient. Atma, soul, the eternal and transient. Soul resides in this body is working. When soul goes out this body cannot work. So that means soul goes one body to another body. That is called the birth and death. Sanskrit word we are using this word Janma and Mrityu. Janma means when soul comes in this body, that time when body is working, we are saying that is called birth. And when soul goes out this body, that time you are using this word death. That means soul does not take birth and soul does not die. Body takes birth and body dies. Jahar janma আছে তার মৃত্যু আছে। Jahar janma আছে, Bengali word, using this word, who takes birth will be die. That means soul eternal and transcendental. And the body takes birth, body will die. So पढ़ते भागवत गीता कृष्ण से न जायते न म्रियते कदाति भूतो अजो नित्यो शाश्वतो एवं न हन्नते हन्न माने शरीरे. But आत्मा doesn't take birth, आत्मा will die. न जायते न म्रियते. अजो नित्यो शाश्वतो एवं. अजो means not just physically. That means never take birth. Ajo nitya. Nitya means eternal. Saswata means transient. Always existing. No hannate, no hannamani sarire. No one can also cut to him. This is called the Atma. First we understand what is called the soul. Soul is called the part and parcel of the Lord. Soul is. Mami Vamsa Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Then I discussed what is the nature of the soul. आत्मा के धर्म क्या है? आत्मा धर्म. What is the nature of the soul? All you are learned and scholar, and you know the science of psychology. In this material, if anything exists, automatically the nature inside. Do you understand? If anything exists, manifest, automatically the nature inside. Give an example: H2O, water, hydrogen, oxygen. Manifest the nature of the water inside. Spontaneous. What is the nature of the water?
Liquidity.
Liquidity. And another? Also?
Flowing down.
Flowing down. Flowing down. Many also, just I discussed the two things, two natures of the water. Jalpitana. But same water in coming in the minus degree centigrade, minus 50, minus. That time, that water nature transfer. That time we are not saying water. What will say that time? Ice. What is the nature of the ice?
Cold.
Cold and solid.
Solid.
I created this nature solid. Before was liquid, and now solid. But again we will give the high temperature, the ice. Then ice melted and again coming his previous nature, water, liquid. In the same way, all your the part and parcel of law. But now we have come in this material world and we forget to law. Now our nature is coming to in this material world to serve the mind. Yes. Before was a nature to serve to Krishna. जीवेर स्वरूप है कृष्ण नित्य दास कृष्ण तत्शक्ति भेदा भेद प्रकाश. The nature of the soul, pure soul. What the soul? Serve Krishna. Krishna das. All we are the servant of Krishna. Krishna das. Seva. Seva vritti. Much in this nature. But when we contaminate with the Maya, then we forget to serve to Krishna. We serve to Maya. But again, to associate with sadhu, then we realize, I am not this body, I am soul, and my spontaneous nature serve to Krishna. Krishna says that. So Krishna says this thing in Bhagavad Gita. If we serve to Krishna, then our life will be successful. And I think the human body is very, very real. You are theist or an atheist, I am not discussing this thing. But it is absolutely truth. This human body is very, very real. For our scriptures, with this statement, after 8.4 billion pieces, the Lord mercifully gives us this human body. Why? Only the human body we can practice bhajan sadhana to Lord. Bible also saying same thing, just different way. English was saying same coin, different size of bottle.
Shape.
Shape of the bottle. In the same way, Bible also written this way: God created man after his own image. That means God he creates many kinds of living entities, cats, dogs, different birds, animals, but he did not satisfy. Then finally, he created a human being as like him. What this is regard beginning? What is saying this one?
God created man.
Of his own image. This what is what? Own image. As like him. But his body is transcendental body. Our this body is gross body. That is called material body. Only this is different. God is very merciful and wonderful. Because only the human body we can practice devotion and service to the Lord. We can listen sweet pastimes of Krishna. We can glorify the Lord. This is that. Eh? We can chant His holy name. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. We can serve the Lord with our hands. We can serve the Lord with our eyes. We can serve the Lord with our ears. Eh? With our hands, we can serve God. How to serve? Decorate. We can make garland. Just make garland. This service to God. Bhagavad says. With our mouth, with our tongue, we can serve to God, glorify His beautiful form. And whose beautiful form? Impartial. See, God has no form. Always. Where did He come from? You have father or not? Have you father? Eh? I have father. Eh? So is our original father God. Bible many places also explain this word. God is our father. We are His son. Jesus never said, I am God. Bible, any things you can prove. In the same way, same line or Ved, Puran, Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita says, Matta Pratana Nanna Kinchidasti Dhananjaya. Hey Dhananjaya Arjun, there are no one higher than me. I am the Supreme. God is our dear Father. All have come from God. This is the true Brahman. Impartially say, God has no form. But if you speak this word with God, G-O-D. G means generator, O means operator, D means destroyer. Srishti Sthiti Pralaya Sadhana Sakti Rekha Brahmasana. Srishti Sthiti Pralaya. He is free. Bhagavad Gita says, I am the creator, or I am the maintainer, or I am the destroyer. This is God, Bhagavan, yes, it's nice, beautiful form. Beautiful is form. Eh? And especially in this Kali Yuga, Lord manifested in three forms. I tell you. What the three forms? Nam, Vigraha and Sarup. Nam, holy name. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Nam, you got translated his name. Because Nam Vigraha Sabda is translated. If you utter water will not come in front of you. Why? Because water is called inert, jara. You know? If 1,000 times you say water will come in front of you? No. But Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Lord will manifest in front of you. Okay? So name of the Nam. Vigraha, that's called deity. Lord manifests in this Vigraha. Isvara Paramam Krishna, Shachidananda Vigraha, Anadi Adi Govinda, Sarva Karana. In the causes of all the causes. He is Anadi without beginning. He is Ishwar. Ishwar means He is the supreme controller. Master Ishwar. then He is eternally constant. Before creation, He was, now He is there, and when everything will be destroyed, also He will. Adi Anta Madhya. In the beginning, in the middle, in the end, always He is. So, Vigraha then from Sachidananda. Ishvara Brahma Krishna. Sachidananda Vigraha. Anadi Adi Govindam. Sarva Karana Karana. Govindam Adi Purusham. Tamaham Bhajami. 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 Brahmaji, Brahma Samhita. Many slokas. Brahmaji, he recited this verse. Hey Govinda, Govindam Adi Purusham. Adi Purush. He is the original Purush. Adi Purush. Tamaham Bhajami. Always I pay my obeisances unto Sarvata. He is Bhagavan with the supreme personality of Godhead. Saint Bhagavan. Govindam Adi Purusham Tam Bhagami. Vigraha. But this Vigraha will be speak with you. This Vigraha will be ask you, give me this thing. When your divine love will come, prema will come. Premanyan charita bhakti virocharinam santa sadaiva hridayesu vilokanti jan sama sundaram achinta guna sarupam govindam adi purusham tamaham bhajami. Govindam adi purusham tamaham bhajami. Vigraha means Sanskrit word. Sanskrit word. Vigraha. V means Vishesha Rupena. Grahanam. That means one who manifests his special form and he accepts all your offering. One who offers, he will accept. That is called Vigraha. And when your love will come, Prema, Premanjana Chitta Bhakti Vilochanena, Santa Sadaiva Videsu Vilakanti, Jan Sama Sundaram Achitta Guna Sarupam, Govindam Adi Purusham, Tamaham Bhajami. Brahma says, when your divine love, Prem will come, that the Lord will ask, give me, give me, give me. And if you have no love, then he is completely silent. Whatever offering, he accepts. But when love will come, then we say, give me, give me, give me. So now Vigraha Sarup, his transcendental form in Guru. Same form he manifests in this material world in the heart of the pure devotee. Sutta. For this Sutta Bhakta, pure devotee, he realized this beautiful form in his inner heart. This is Antakkara. What is it? Antakkara. What is it? Inner chamber. But how we realize? If you chant holy names, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Especially in this Kali Yuga, Lord invested all his potency, Sakti in his holy names. Nam Namakari, Bahuta, Nijasasa Sakti, Stravita Niyutta Smaranina Kala, Etadrisitava Kripa, Bhagavan Namah. Durdaiva Videsi Yoga Bhajan. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recited in this Kali Yuga, Lord invested all his potency of holy name, more than himself. Hari se Bada, Hari Kana. Hindi word. Hari se Bada, Hari Kana. Holy names is higher than Hari Hari. Why? If you committed offense to lotus feet of the Lord, very difficult to get this mercy from him. But if you committed offenses to lotus feet of Hari Nam, Nam Prabhu, but again and again chanting holy names, then all your offenses clear. Now, because Lord mercifully, He manifests in the form of His holy name. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nothing is very merciful. Impartially they are saying, oh, we can meditate formulas. Is it possible? Okay. Your father has very nice beautiful photo. Your father's photo? You keep the photo, father's photo in front of you. You can meditate. Do you understand? You have your father's photo or no? Photo.
Oh, right.
Yeah?
Do you have a photograph of your father?
No, just a memory.
Your father, who is father's photo? Just your father. So you can keep your father's photo and sit. Then you meditate. How you meditate? How your father's eyes, hands, legs, all you have seen. Then you can meditate. Okay? Same photo. You understand? Then you can meditate your father. Close your eyes and you meditate. First you see that the photo. Then you close your eyes. Then same photograph coming in your mind. Then you can meditate. Okay? How is eyes, nose, hands, legs, everything is meditate. Eh? This is what. You never seen someone. You never met with someone. You did not meet with whom? Great grandfather. Have you met with your great grandfather?
No.
No. But someone also told. Maybe your father, grandfather told, "Dear, my father or grandfather body is very nice, beautiful eyes, nice, beautiful, and very beautiful." Then when you heard his description, then you can also meditate. But you would never meet, never know. So how you meditate? That means is what I want to establish these things. Formless, you cannot meditate. Nirakar doesn't meditate. Impossible saying, oh, God has no form. God never exists. How do you know? God told you that never exists. How do you know? Your God never exists. I'm born as like owl. Owl, understand? Night time? That bird, owl. They never come out in the daytime. Night time, they are running here and there, flying here and there. Right? Hunting the mice. So, owl says there is no sun. Sun never exists. Is it true or not? Who has eyes? You know. Daytime, hey, owl will come out in the daytime and need your eyes power, vision. Then you can see the sun rising in the east. Sun now in midday. Sun now under sky. You can see it. Eh? God is everywhere. This is true. But you realize, how do you realize about Him? If you meditate, if you do bhajan and sadhana, practice. If you never practice or if you chant His holy names, how do you know? Butter, ghee. Ghee inside the milk or not? Understand? How do you know? Where is the milk? Where is the ghee? If you want to see the ghee inside the milk, need some practice. What do you do? Bring pure milk. Eh? Then that milk transferred in yogurt. Dahi, yogurt. Then you churn. Then come in butter. That butter put in the hot pot. Then you can see. But if 1,000 times, 1,000 years ago, no. There is no ghee inside the milk. This sober person cannot execute this philosophy. Impartialist they are saying. In the same way, Lord resides everywhere. Anaroniyan Mahatamaniyan. He is smaller and he is bigger, great. He resides everywhere, Paramatma. Bhaganta Tavidaspitam Jaj Ganamadam Brahmeti Paramatmati Bhagavanati Saptati. He is one. But he has three aspects. That's called Brahma, Paramatma and Bhagavan. Brahma means effulgence, Jatirmayo Brahma. I am the Jatirmayo. Our Vedas, Upanishad is I am the effulgence. Jatir. I am Paramatma, super soul. God, He resides in the heart of all the living entities in the form of super soul, Paramatma. And then He is called also Bhagavan. He is called Bhagavan. What is the meaning of Bhagavan? Bhagavan means who has 6 opulence. Ishwar. O Ishwar, Samakra Virya, Dasa Sri, Gyana Vairagya Sanna Iti Bhagavan. Bhagavan means he has vast opulence, Vaishya. Virya, he is very powerful. He controls to everyone. He is the supreme. Brahma, Shiva, all the demigods, paying their obeisances unto his lotus feet. Om Tadavishnu Paramang Padam Sada Pasyanti Suraya Dhiva Chakshuratatam. Vedas mantra. Om Tadavishnu Paramang Padam Sada Pasyanti Surayo. Surayo, all the high class exalted demigod deities. Santa Mahatma. That again, they are giving their darshan. How is it beautiful form of Lord? Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam Sara Pashanti Surayu Divi Vachakshuratatam. With their transcendental eyes, they can say beautiful form of Lord. What is the revealed? Just as Sri, they are passed up name, fame and reputation. Sri means beauty. Beautiful is all. Varahaviran Nadavaraboko Karna Karnikaram Vipradavasu Kanaka Visang Vajantamaram Ranhana Vino Radhasuda Purana Govindai Bindaranam Savadaranam Pravisata Gide Kirti. How is it beautiful is called? So, here Vigrahi, here Krishna. Three-man fold. That is called Tribhangalali. Three-man fold. And it's very nice, beautiful. Peacock feather on his turban. And he plays the flute. Intoxicated the heart of all the living entities. Everybody completely intoxicated. The sound of his flute. That's called Benut. And very nice, beautiful yellow garments. Vajantyamala. Very nice, beautiful garland around his so see, and with his sidelong glance intoxicated to all the living entities and captivated their heart. Kastrang Dehi Kalapadam Kata Venu Go Drija Druma Hiranna Pulokanno Jabbi Brahmam. Srimad Bhagavatam gives evidence. Not on the Gopis they intoxicated with the Krishna. Beauty. Even the Go Dija Druma. Go means cows of Vrindavan. Birds of Vrindavan. Druma means all the trees of Vrindavan. And all the animals being. deer, peacock, pigeon. Everybody completely intoxicated with the beauty of the beauty. When Krishna plays the flute, everybody completely intoxicated. And start with the Radha nache, Krishna nache, nache Gopigan. Man mera ban gaye saki, pavan vrindavan. Radha nache, Krishna nache, nache Gopigan. Man mera ban gaye saki, pavan vrindavan. Braj, Vrindavan, Braj, language of Braj song. The simple meaning is that when Krishna plays the flute, then everybody starts to dance. Even Krishna himself starts to dance. So the Radha nache, Krishna nache, nache Gopi. Srimati Radhika she dance. Krishna also dance. Everybody starts to dance. So Radha nache, Krishna nache, nache Gopi. Man mero ban gaye sakhi, pavan vrindavan. Mind completely were intoxicated with Vrindavan. Lalita Visakha, all the sakhis of Srimati Radhika, they also started to dance. Not only this, Ganga nache, Jamuna nache. Ganga means Manasi Ganga. If you go Vrindavan, Govardhan, you can see Manasi Ganga. Jamuna Devi, the waves of Jamuna started to dance up and down, up and down. All the birds, they also completely in touch. As Vrindavan Sati Guru Vidunati Kirti, just Devaki Sudha Padartha Lakshmi, Govinda Venu Matta Mayura Nittam, Prakchati Sangha Bharatam Samasta Sattam. Srimad Bhagavata Gita. When Krishna plays the flute, even the peacock peahen, Mayur, peacock peahen, they are coming very close to Krishna and they spread their tail and start to dance. Right? Because Krishna, he is called the embodiment of divine love, Brahmamani Bhagavan. Same Bible also says God is love, love is God, or God is the embodiment of divine love. If you read the Bible or Srimad Bhagavad Gita, same thing. Just different language, different interpretation coming. But same thing. There was very nicely explained. Yeah, what is the meaning of Krishna? The Krishna word. And those who are so far this regard Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj he told. Krishna, those who are pure Krishna, they are called the pure devotee of Krishna. People they not understand. God is one, not many. Or God is one. That's different way. Different language. We are calling it. So we should divide ourselves as three. Gyan. Gyan means all the knowledge coming from where? Krishna. Ved, Upanishad, everything is coming from Krishna. Vairagya, Krishna says, I am staying everywhere. Or I am not attached. As like the leaves of the lotus staying in the water, but not touch the water. In the same way, Lord, He resides everywhere, but is not attached to Him. In the same way, God, Bhagavan. So just I will say to him, Badin Padidas Pradinjas Ganamat, Brahmeti Paramatmi, Bhagavan Sattva. He is Bhagavan. Then everybody can understand to him according to their own sadhan and bhajan. If you practice chant Holy Name, then automatically your realization will come. Self-realization is the best realization. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj told me, self-realization is the best realization. You chant Holy Names, automatically your realization will come. That's not called, that's called Atma Anubhuti. Atma Anubhuti, self-realization. Because if spiritual things, transcendental things, which any old material argument you cannot establish. Tarkat or Pratispanat, Vedanta Sutra also says. Tarkat or Pratispanat, which your material arguments, material brain, material concepts, you can understand. How do you understand? If you come in our specific succession and also self-taught Guru spirit of bona fide genuine Guru, Mahato Padorojo Abhishekam. Prabhu Gani Tattva Jati, not Chajan Nirpapana Dhyarva, not Chandasa, not Chandasa, Sanjalagni Sujri, Bina Mahato Padorojo Abhishekam. Let it clearly explain. When you absolutely surrender Lotus feet of bona fide Guru, then realization will come. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I will not take much of time. Just please chant Holy Name and be happy. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.